Hello and welcome to Sports 360, your one-stop destination for all big sporting events across the globe. So far, the Euro fixtures have showcased some stellar performances. Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku, PATRIK, Schick, Manuel Locatelli and Cristiano Ronaldo have set the early pace in the race for the Golden Boot. Meanwhile, Ronaldo creates history in Budapest. The Portuguese great set the record for the most career goals at the Euro 2020 tournament, overtaking Michel Platini. Meanwhile, Shafali Verma hits maiden test 50 on debut against England in Bristol. She missed out on 100 by just 4 runs, but she broke a series of records with dominant innings. An exclusive interaction with Tokyo-bound sailor Vishnu Saravanan. And apart from this, we also have our regular segments: Goal of the Week, Player of the Week, Sporting Moments of the Week. But first up, the cover story you are tracking this week. Indian sprint legend Milkha Singh died on Friday after a month-long battle with COVID-19. He was 91. Milkha Singh was a 4-time Asian gold medalist and 1958 Commonwealth Games champion. The legend will be forever known as the Flying Sikh for his performance at the 1960 Rome Olympics, where he was placed at the 4th spot in the 400-meter final. President Ramnath Kovind and PM Modi condoled the demise of Milkha Singh.
Indian sprint legend Milkha Singh, aged 91, succumbed to post-COVID complications on Friday night after a month-long battle with the virus. 5 days ago, Milkha's wife, Nirmal Kaur, a former India volleyball captain, had lost her battle with the virus. Born in 1929 in Govindpura, a village close to Punjab province of British India, Milkha moved to Delhi in 1947 during partition, before he announced himself on the big stage to earn the name the Flying Sikh. President Ramnath Kovind condoled the passing away of Milkha Singh. In a message, President said, "The passing of sporting icon Milkha Singh fills my heart with grief. The story of his struggles and strength of character will continue to inspire generations of Indians. My deepest condolences to his family members and countless admirers." Prime Minister Narendra Modi also expressed his condolences. He said, "In the passing away of Shri Milkha Singh ji, we have lost a colossal sportsperson who captured the nation's imagination and had a special place in the hearts of countless Indians. His inspiring personality endeared himself to millions, anguished by his passing away." Milkha was orphaned during partition and was introduced to the sport while serving in the Indian Army. It was his stint with the Indian Army that helped sharpen his running skills. Young Milkha first hogged the limelight when he outperformed 394 soldiers in a race and was selected for further grooming and training. That eventually laid the base for him to become a legendary sprinter. Milkha represented India at 1956 Olympics in Melbourne, 1960 Olympics in Rome and 1964 Olympics in Tokyo. He was the first Indian athlete to claim a gold medal in the individual athletics category at the Commonwealth Games before the sprinter's record was broken in 2010. The legendary athlete is a 4-time Asian Games gold medalist and 1958 Commonwealth Games champion. The race for which Milkha is fondly remembered is his 4th place finish in the 400 meters final at the 1960 Olympic Games in Rome. He had entered as one of the favorites in the showpiece event. During the race, Milkha was leading the charge before he lost momentum and was overtaken by other sprinters. According to Athletes Federation of India, various records were broken in the race that required a photo finish and witnessed American Otis Davis being declared the winner by 1/100th of a second over German Karl Kaufmann. Sports Desk, DD India.
The group fixtures at the Euro 2020 have showcased some stellar performances. Romelu Lukaku, PATRIK, Schick have set the early pace in the race for the Golden Boot. A host of Italian players impressed. Goran Pandev rolled back years and Calvin Phillips shone for England.
Kevin De Bruyne, Belgium. Kevin De Bruyne came off the bench to inspire Belgium to a 2-1 comeback over Denmark on Thursday and a place in the Euro 2020 knockout stage. De Bruyne was brought on at half-time and immediately got down to business. He provided the assist for the equalizer after a fantastic run by Romelu Lukaku, the Manchester City man, and then scored one himself, striking a low shot with his weaker left foot past Kasper Schmeichel. After looking disoriented in the first half, Belgium now had the lead, and it was all thanks to Kevin De Bruyne. PATRIK, Czech Republic. The Bayer Leverkusen striker was clinical in the Czech Republic's win over Scotland, highlighted by the sublime goal curling the ball over David Marshall's from the halfway line for what could yet be the goal of the tournament. He had opened the scoring just before half-time when he rose highest to meet a cross from West Ham's Vladimir Kofel. The 25-year-old scored just 9 league goals from Leverkusen during the season just completed, but has got off a fine start at Euro 2020. Romelu Lukaku, Belgium. Lukaku, who had a superb season with Inter Milan, took that form into Belgium's opening game victory over Russia. Scorer of 30 goals of his club in 2021, Lukaku struck twice on Saturday, both neat finishes, as the Red Devils got their campaign off to the perfect start. If the 28-year-old can keep up this form, he may well add a Euro winners medal to a Serie A, one he picked up a few weeks ago. Calvin Phillips, England. No surprise here. It has been a fine start at Euro 2020 for Leeds representatives, with midfielder Philip receiving rave views for his role in England's 1-0 win over Croatia. Playing further forward than he does for his club side, the 25-year-old was his usual combative self helping stifle the Croatia midfield while also making a big impact in attack. It was his driving run and neat pass that set up Raheem Sterling for the winning goal. It was a coming-of-age display reflected in his ratings. GEORGINIO Wijnaldum, Netherlands. The Dutch captain joined French side Paris Saint-Germain last week and tuned in a superb performance to show his new club what they have to look forward to next season. In Euro 2020 qualifying, he was his country's top scorer with 8 goals and started the final just as impressively. Wijnaldum scored the opening goal as Netherlands beat Ukraine 3-2 and buzzed around the midfield in a strong performance. N'Golo Kante, France. N'Golo Kante's form with Chelsea, for whom he was man of the match in the Champions League final win over Manchester City on 29 May, carried over into his first match of the Euro with France. The Chelsea midfielder was in usual self-covering every blade of grass out of possession and accomplished with the ball in the France win over Germany. The importance of Kante for France cannot be overstated. His ability to protect the back four allows Paul Pogba to get forward and create chances for the dangerous French attackers.
So the race for the Golden Boot in the Euro 2020 is on. Meanwhile, the records are just keep coming for Cristiano Ronaldo. He has only played one match in the Euro 2020 and has already collected another 2 moments of history. Ronaldo became the all-time top scorer at the European Championship after 2 goals in the final minutes, helped hold his Portugal beat Hungary 3-0 in their Group F opener. And Ronaldo now has 11 goals in the competition, taking sole possession of the record he previously shared with France's Michel Platini on 9.
Another day, another record for Cristiano Ronaldo. Just when the sands of time appear as though they are running out on the Portugal forward, he scores 2 late goals in a 3-0 win against Hungary on Tuesday to remind the world that he still retains the incredible ability to put the clock on hold and deliver when his team needs it the most. The 36-year-old is now the all-time leading goal scorer in European Championships final after his 2 goals in Budapest took him to 11, to clear of former France captain Michel Platini, and he extended his remarkable run of scoring in 11 consecutive international tournaments, stretching back to his first at Euro 2004. The top goal scorer in men's Euro are Cristiano Ronaldo, Michel Platini, Alan Shearer, Antonio Griezmann and Ruud van Nistelrooy. Ronaldo is now just 3 goals short of leveling with former Iran striker Ali Daei, who scored 109 between 1993 and 2006 as the leading scorer in the history of international men's football, as has happened so often since his first international goal against Greece in the opening game of Euro 2004. Ronaldo turned up in the closing stages to make sure the job is done. That in itself is a testament to Ronaldo's supreme fitness and determination. Almost 19 years after making his debut for Sporting Lisbon, it is a mark of Juventus forward's enduring greatness that he is still pushing himself to score in the final moments when most players are feeling the physical effects of training 90 minutes. Ronaldo is a peerless example to his teammates and to footballers across the globe because his enthusiasm and desire remains equally intense when he first started playing as a teenager. He will also be looking forward to eclipse DAEI before the end of Euro 2020 and place himself ahead of everyone else at the summit of men's international goal scoring. Sports Desk, DD India.
Now it's time for the goal of the week. PATRIK scored twice, including a stunning effort from near the halfway line. UEFA says it was the longest distance for a goal in the tournament at the 49.7 meters. The previous record of 38.6 meters came from Germany midfielder Thorsten Frings at the Euro 2004. And this is Sports 360 Goal of the Week. Cristiano Ronaldo netted a double to become the European champion's all-time leading scorer. The Juventus striker has now scored 11 goals in the tournament, 2 more than the French great Michel Platini, who netted 9 times when he led France to glory in 1984. Meanwhile, Italy became the first team to reach the knockout stages of the Euro 2020. Roberto Mancini's side showcased themselves as the possible contenders for the title after a dominant 3-0 win over Switzerland in Group A. And Italy is the team of the week. For Army man Vishnu Saravanan, sailing is in his blood. The 22-year-old finished second at the Musna Championship last year to secure his berth for the Tokyo Olympics. Our correspondent Ashok Martolia had an exclusive interaction with him. This is what he has to say.
4 Indian sailors have qualified for upcoming Tokyo Olympic and Vishnu Saravanan is one of them. I'm joined by Vishnu Saravanan from Malta, North African coast, where he is currently training for Tokyo Olympic. Well, Vishnu, how difficult it was for you, to qualify Olympic, because we do not have sufficient infrastructure in India, and although we have around more than 7,000 along coastline, how difficult it was for you?
At the beginning, I think it was quite difficult as you said, there's 7,000 kilometers, and there's like so many opportunities and so many we could be so much better as sailors, because there's a lot of playground for us. But unfortunately, we don't have as many sailors as we should have. But it's getting better, as this is the first step, and. For me, it was all because of Army. Army supported me a lot with the sports equipment and everything. And as my dad was also in the army and he was helping me out with all the foundation, so that helped me with less worries. And that's why I was able to perform as well, because as I'm from the middle class family, as sailing is said as it's a bit of a rich sport, and it's actually even so I'm just proving that even we can do it, and we can also achieve in a bigger stage. And I just want the youth also to follow this footsteps, and they also have to explore their options. So this is one of the options they should try and explore it.
Last decade we have seen a significant change in the Mumbai coastline and the sailing culture also. Do you think that as we know that the sailing culture and this legal hurdle infrastructure is also being addressed, do you think that the future of sailing in India is bright?
I think it is, because it's getting like in a bigger amount. Like in Mumbai, they had this event called Sail India, where there was like more than 300 or 350 boats, which was incredible to see from the shoreline, to see all these boats, on the water, and it's a beautiful view. So I think that's why there were many. It's a tourist attraction as well. So there's many tourists who see that and they want to try it out because it's something new. And I think it's a slow process, but I think it's on the right direction. So it's good.
As you are in Malta, North African coast, and how much government has supported you in your journey?
So big thanks to TOPS, sir. They helped me with all this financial, all this time with the Tokyo Olympics, and they're still helping me with all the boats. And it's very difficult to organize logistics with the sport, because we have equipment and which costs a lot of money as well. And we have a sailing ground as well, which is a playground, and there has to be wind, there has to be waves, and it has to match the same venue as in Tokyo, Enoshima, where we are going to sail. So the conditions of the wave and the wind has to be similar to in Tokyo. So we chose this venue, Malta, and I've been training here since the Olympic cycle 2018. And so the TOPS really helped me with all this organizing, and my coaches and everything. So I am really grateful to them.
Now it's time for our special segment, Target Olympic. Indian players are gearing up for the Tokyo Olympics. The countdown for the event is underway, and we make some bold prediction for India at the Games. This time, Indian contingent have the ability to make it to a double-digit medal tally. India's best ever medal tally to date has been 6, which they achieved at the London Olympics. Let's take a look at the medal hopefuls for India at the Tokyo Olympics.
The countdown for the Tokyo Olympics is underway after the one-year delay owing to the coronavirus pandemic that is still looming large. Following almost a year-long hiatus, athletes are slowly making their return into sports with the aim of attaining glory at the quadrennial sporting extravaganza. India is aiming to send one of its biggest contingents ever to the Tokyo Olympics, including a few who are among the best in the world. And before the action begins in Tokyo, predictions are going to pour in from all corners. From how many medals India will win in Tokyo to which athlete will win which color. People are trying to predict everything. In that beat, here we will try to make some predictions of our own, and the predictions that are bold. First athletics medal for India. India has been long starving for a medal in athletics, which might be achieved this year. Javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra and long jumper Srishankar Murali have given us hopes which can translate into medals at the hallowed ground. It is not a hidden fact that athletics is one of the disciplines which has the most number of medal events, and as a result, the Indian federations and associations have been at it to produce a medalist in that field. Asian Games and Commonwealth Games gold medalist Neeraj Chopra threw an attempt of 88.07 meters to create a new national record in the javelin throw event at the Indian Grand Prix 3 at the National Institute of Sports, Patiala. As he is trying to reach the 90-meter mark, the possibilities look encouraging. Biggest medal tally in shooting. Indian shooters have kept on dominating the world circuit with some extremely well performances in the ISSF World Cups. Shooters like Saurabh Chaudhary, Manu Bhakar, Divyansh Singh Pawar, Anjum Mudgil, Abhishek Verma have time and again consistently performed over a couple of years, thus making them some of the best bets to win multiple medals in the Tokyo Olympics. Long wait for medal ends for Indian archers. Indian archers have long been waiting for their deserving medal at the Olympics. Deepika Kumari, who had been the world #1 archer, had to miss out on her medal dreams in London 2012 and Rio 2016. With her making into the team once again, Deepika will be bringing experience with her to win India's first ever medal in archery in the women's individual category and also probably in the mixed team event with her husband Atanu Das. Mary Com's dream of winning Olympic gold remains unachieved. The Tokyo Olympics will be the swan song of India's all-time greatest pugilist and six-time world champion Mary Com. For the 2012 Olympic bronze medalist, a gold medal at the Tokyo Olympics would have been the fitting crown for the Manipuri. However, going by her present form and analysing her competitors in the 51 kg weight category, a top finish in the podium would be a daunting job for her, who is also catching up with her age. Sania Mirza chases down elusive Olympics medal. India's Sania Mirza said the elusive dream of winning a medal at her 4th Olympics in Tokyo this year motivated her to return to the WTS circuit after a year-long gap. It was a disappointing outing for Mirza and her mixed doubles partner Rohan Bopanna in Rio 2016, who despite reaching the semi-finals of the tournament missed the medal by a whisker. This time Sania looks motivated and her current form could spell a medal-winning performance in Tokyo. India's first ever double-digit medal tally. India's best ever medal tally to date has been 6, which they achieved at the London Olympics. But this time, if the Olympics do happen, they have a chance to eclipse that mark and go further, and who knows, they have the ability to make it to a double-digit medal tally. We could be looking at 5 medals from shooting, 2 from boxing, 2 from wrestling, 1 from hockey, and that's 10 right there. Sports Desk, DD India.
Now shifting focus to tennis court, Novak Djokovic erased the 2-set deficit against Tsitsipas to win the French Open 6-7, 2-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-4. The Serb is now the only male player have won each of the 4 Grand Slams at least twice. With this, the greatest of all time debate just got a whole lot more complicated.
Ahead of the pack, Djokovic leads both Roger Federer 27-23 and Rafael Nadal 30-28 in the head-to-head records. He is the only player to have wins over Federer and Nadal at all 4 Grand Slams. He's also the only one to beat both Federer and Nadal in multiple Grand Slam finals, multiple Master finals, and in the final of the season-ending championship. The 3 heavyweights have decidedly favourite kingdoms, with Djokovic holding the record of most Australian Open wins and most hardcourt majors and master title overall. But success against his closest rivals on their preferred surfaces sets Djokovic apart. Clay court specialist. On clay, 13-time French Open champion Nadal expectedly pulls ahead 19-8. But those 8 wins by Djokovic are the most by any player over Nadal on the surface. Djokovic is the only player to have beaten Nadal twice at Roland Garros and to have beaten the Spaniard in all 3 clay court Masters 1000 events. Including the French Open win on Sunday, 17 of Djokovic's 84 titles have come on clay. He is now 10th on the list of all-time clay court title tallies. Supremacy on grass. From never playing on grass growing up, Djokovic has won 5 Wimbledon titles. Equally impressive in his record against 8-time Wimbledon champion Federer, who has the best win percentage on grass in the Open era. Djokovic is 3-1 against Federer on grass, all 3 wins coming in the finals of Wimbledon. On hard courts, he is 20-18 against Federer and 27 against Nadal. Outlasting, beating the elite. Nobody grinds 5-setters out better than Djokovic. In matches that went the distance, Djokovic has a record of 35 wins and 10 losses, a win rate of 77. Nadal is 22-12, which is 63%, and Federer is 32-23, which is 58%. Djokovic also reigns supreme when it comes to matches against top 10 opponents. His win-loss records is 222 to 100, a success rate of 69. Both Federer 222 to 123 and Nadal 178 to 99 are at 64. The race is much tighter against the top 5, but Djokovic remains ahead with a rate of 60 to Nadal's 59 and Federer's 58%. The master of all. Djokovic is the benchmark of success in the Masters 1000 tournaments, the most prestigious series of events in men's tennis after the 4 Grand Slams. In 2018, he became the only singles player to complete the career Golden Masters, completing the set of all 9 Masters in world titles. In 2020, he claimed another set of 9 to extend his record. He has the joint most singles title tied with Nadal and holds the record of most titles in one season. Sports Desk, DD India.
Now it's time for some cricketing actions. Shafali Verma, age 17, hit her maiden test 50 of 83 balls on day 2 of the one-off test match against England in Bristol. She reached the landmark with a 4 of Sophie Eccleston, and the highlight of the Shafali's inning was the hat-trick of 4s of Catherine Brunt after tea. Verma, age 17, is currently number 1 T20 player and had scores of 23, 47 and 16 T20s against South Africa in March. Verma is the youngest Indian woman to play T20 cricket and the youngest Indian to make an international half-century. She made her India debut in September 2019. And that's all in this edition of Sports 360. Before we wrap up, we leave you with these fan moments at the Euro 2020. Namaskar.